Okay, now we have written the code for first pass. Let us see the code again. If you observe the code carefully, you can see that basically we have written the same set of statements 4 times and changing the current position and the next position of the element each time. So suppose consider if I want to compare do the compare 100 times, then we have to repeat the same code 100 times and changing the position of the current and next element 100 times. And similarly, if I want to compare 1000 elements, then we have to repeat the same set of statements 1000 times. So this is not the practical way to write the code, right? Also, this is not efficient way to write. So instead of repeating the same set of statements again and again, it will be easy if we can write the repeating statements only once and somehow tell the code to repeat it for the number of times we want. Let us see this with an example. Suppose if I want to print four numbers, that is, if I want to print the numbers starting from 1 to 4, how do we write the code? We can write it like print 1, then print 2, print 3, print 4. Suppose if you want to write print 100 numbers starting from 1 and ending with 100, we have to repeat the same set of coding 100 times. So instead, if there is a way where we can write the print only once and tell the code to print it 4 times. So let us take a variable I. We will write the same sentence using a variable I. Pass the value 1 to I, it will print the value 1. So now if we assign 1 to I, this print of I is same as print of 1. If we assign 2 to the value I, then print of I is same as print of 2. And if we assign 3, then it will print 3. If we assign 4 to I, it is same as writing print of 4. So basically what we have done is we have uh, we have written the print statement only once with the variable I. We have assigned the starting value 1 to the variable I and printing the value of I and moving to the next value of I. So next value is 2. So we assign the value 2 to I and then printing. So again it comes to next, it will increment to the next value, that is 3, and it will come to print, it will print 3 and it will come to next value, so it will increment to 4 and then print. So we can write the same thing as using a loop. Let us assume we are going to code it using for loop. So the structure of for loop is assign a starting value for the loop, that is here we want to start with the value I equal to 1, and then we have to mention the ending value. So we want to stop when we print the value 4, so we can write it as end when I equal to 4. So what we have to do when I equal to 1 to 4, we have to print the value of I. So after printing, what we have to do, we have to move to the next value of I. So If you see, this code is same as writing the print 4 times. So it will start with the value 1, it will come inside the loop, print the value of I, and go to the next value of I, and it will come here. It will check whether it has reached the end. It knows it will reach the end when I equal to 2. So we haven't reached the end. So again it will print, increment the value to next value, and it will again check if we have reached the end. Now let us see if I want to print 100 numbers. So how we will do it? Again we want to start from 1, but we want to repeat the same sentence till we reach 100. So I'll replace this 4 with 100. So this code will print the value starting from 1 till 100. Suppose if I want to print 1000 numbers, it is enough if I change the end value of I. So we will say for I equal to 1 to I equal to 1000. So now this code will print the value of I starting from 1 till 1000. So now you can see that we have simplified the code like this. So similarly, if we go back to the our coding for comparison, we are repeating it 4 times here. So we'll see how we can simplify it using for loop. So let us recap what this code is doing. It is comparing current element is greater than next element. Current element is greater than next element. What we have to do? We have to swap the values and then complete the compare. After that, move to the next element. So if you see, we are doing the same step in every comparison. If you see here, we are comparing current element is greater than next element, and then swapping the values and completing the compare, and then move to the next element. Here if you see, only the value of the position of the current element and next element is changing. So let us write the position of current element and next element for each comparison. So when we are here, the current position of the element is 1 and next position is 2. Similarly here, the current position is 2 and next is 3. For this code, the current position is 3, next position is 4. Here current position is 4 and next is 5. So let us see how we can write the value of next position with respect to the current position. See here, current position is 1, next is 1 more than the current position. So shall we write it like 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is same as writing like this. So similarly, we can write the 3 as 2 plus 1, and 4 is nothing but 3 plus 1. 5 is nothing but 4 plus 1. If you see, 1 is nothing but current position. If you come here, we are writing the next position as 2 plus 1. So 2 is nothing but current position here. Similarly, here the current position is 3 and the next position can be written as 3 plus 1. And when we are in fourth position, the next element can be written as 4 plus 1. And same way, if I am in 10th position, the next element will be 10 plus 1. And if you are in 100th position, 101 will be 100 plus 1. And let us assume a variable I. This I represents the position of the current element. So if I am in position I plus 1 will give the next element. That is, when we are in position I plus 1 will point to the next element of I. So now we will see how we can rewrite this code. Let us take the first one. I will write if temperature. So before that, let us see this code. We are comparing the current position is in 1 and we are comparing it with the second element. So what we will do, first we will assign the value 1 to I and then rewrite the same code using the variable. Temperature of I greater than temperature of we know that when the variable I represent the current position, the next element can be written as I plus 1. So when it is current element is greater than next element, what we have to do? We have to swap the values. So we know that we have to move the current value to temp variable. So what is the current position now? Current position is I. So we have moved the current position to current value to temporary variable. Then we have to move the next value to the current value. Next value is I plus 1. And then move the temp value to next value. Right? And then go to the next. So if you see here, temperature of I here means we have assigned a value I 1 to the variable I. So temperature of I is same as writing temperature of 1. And then temperature of I plus 1, that is now I is 1, so 1 plus 1 will give the value of 2. So writing temperature 2 is same as temperature of I plus 1, and then we are doing the swap. So now after complete things, what we need to do, we need to move to the next value of I. So coming to next position, I will become 2. So the temperature of I is same as writing temperature of 2. Let me write it again. I equal to 2. So when the current position is 2, the temperature of I is pointing to temperature of 2. Temperature I plus 1 is same as temperature 3. Similarly, here we'll assign the value 3 to I and the same code will be repeated. and here I value will be 4 and the same code will be repeated. So if you see this coding, we can see that only the value of I is incrementing for each step, that is each comparison, and the rest of the code is remaining same. So basically what we have done is we have started with the current position 1 and compared it with the next element and incremented the current position to next element, that is 2, and compared it with the next position, and then increment the current value to 3, compare it with the next element, increment the current position to 4, compare it with the next element. And we know that when we increment the current position to 5, there is no next element. If you see here, so when we are here, we will compare 4 and 5. Then if we increment to the fifth position, we know that there is no next element and we will stop. So we know that we have to stop the comparison after comparing fourth and fifth element. So let us rewrite the same code using for loop. So what I have to do first I have to tell the starting value for the loop. So I'll be starting when the current position is 1. So let us write it like for I equal to 1. And when I have to stop the comparison, we have to stop when we reach the fifth element. So instead I can say we have to stop the comparison after comparing fourth and fifth element. So for time being, let us write it as I equal to 4. What I have to do, we have to compare. So basically this code is doing starting with the value of 1, comparing it with the next element, then interchanging the values and incrementing the value of I to the next value and repeating it for 4 times.